Here are my 3 specific things that I've learned about Congress. 1. The House of Representatives are made up of people chosen every 2 years. I think this is important because without the 2-year time limit, then I feel as if people would abuse their powers and use how they can rule in a bad way. 2. If you don't meet the following requirements, 25 years of age at least, and been a United States citizen for at least 7 years, then you cannot be a member of the House of Representatives. The reason why I think this is important is because with that 7 years, like you can check somebody's background, and I feel as if it's hard to cover up something bad, any felonies or anything like that. It's hard to cover that up if it's been a decade. I understand 1 or 2 years, but a decade, that's long. 3. You cannot be a senator if you haven't reached the following requirements: 30 years of age at least, and been a citizen for at least 9 years. A U.S. citizen for at least 9 years. I think this is important because, like I said earlier, it gives time, the 9 years gives time to check somebody's background over anything bad or any of the sort. And also 30 years maturity, that's what also maturity comes. Not saying that people could still be immature, but I'm saying it's more likely that people are going to be more mature. And also just gives time for them to just learn the material. Here are my things that I learned about the executive branch in Article 2. 1. The power of the executive is in the hands of the President of the United States of America and has a term of 4 years in office. I think this is important because, 1, without the limit of years you can be in office, it will create ruckus and people will start to argue saying this person shouldn't have that much power, this person's been in there too long, blah, 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 like, etc. 2. If you're not a natural born citizen of the USA, 35 years of age at least, or been a resident within the United States for at least 14 years, then you could not run the role of president. I think that this reason is very important because being president is a big role, and so you need to make sure the specific person is right for the job. 3. Before the president goes into office, he has to do an oath that says he swears to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. I think this is really important because even though somebody could say something, they might not mean it. They could lie. So you could hold that oath up to you could use that against them. You could use their words against themselves. And here are 2 things that surprised me after reading the whole document. 1 thing that most surprised me after reading the entire document is if the president gets removed from the office, whether it's because of death or resignation, the vice president will act as the president until another president is elected. Or if those 2 get taken out, then the other 2 get pushed up, and etc. 2. Another thing that surprised me after reading the whole document is if someone commits a crime, then runs away to another state, and gets caught, the person will get taken back to where he or she fled from and be forced to get that state's punishment. So if I ran from Georgia to Florida and then I get caught in Florida, but I did the crime in Georgia, I will have to get taken to Georgia, and then that's when I'll get my punishment. And these are the things I've learned after reading the whole document and things I've learned from Article 1 and 2.